And here we go. Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Armani and Edwards, The Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards out today. Shout out to my partner. Let me tell you how tough this guy is, Terry Foster, sitting in for Braylon today. Braylon has cracked his wisdom tooth.
Ooh.
So he has had some oral problems, and it's real hard to talk when you do something like that. So Braylon's out today and may be out tomorrow as well. We are going to see, but I don't know how you talk with a broken wisdom teeth. Now, have you had your wisdom teeth out yet?
I had all four taken out at once.
Yes.
And they knocked me out, and they gave me Vicodin, and I didn't use it. I was good the next day.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You're a lot stronger than I am. I think I was down for 2 weeks when I had mine out.
Well, maybe not stronger, just different. We have different thresholds of pain.
Right. Tom Mazaway with us as well. Maz, good afternoon to you.
What up, guys? Good to have Terry in the house, subbing in for Braylon. Braylon, we're thinking about you, and I need your notebook if I'm going to get through this day.
Right. For
get those toofuses fixed.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, the toofuses. The thing about Braylon, he's always come with a stack of notes this big.
You know, he's hitting me up on he's sending me a million things. Don't forget this. Don't forget this.
The guy is
I got you, big.
The most prepared guy I ever worked with in my life. I swear. I never saw anything like it, but it's all good. Bray, love you, buddy. We got you today. Just sit back, relax, get those teeth fixed, and we'll take it from here. Can't wait to see you back with us. But Terry, welcome to you, my friend. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I got my booster shot today.
And how do you feel with that?
I feel fine. So if I collapse, you know exactly what happened.
Now, this was several months after your vaccination, right?
Yeah, I got the second vaccination at the end of March.
Okay.
And so my wife, Dr. Fauci, was getting a little edgy, and she's like, you got to get your booster, you got to get your booster. So she set up an appointment for me, and so I just showed up, poked me, and I guess I'm good for another 6 months.
Well, there you go. Hey, man, that's great. Stay healthy. If you can do it, do it. But
if I collapse, then we'll just survive. Just throw water on me.
Yeah, we'll just move you out and put Maz up there. All right.
You're going to be just fine.
Man down, man down. But we got a great show for you today, guys. Rob Parker, Fox Sports 1, going to join us. Rob is great on everything. Braylon did Rob's show, so Rob was supposed to return the favor here today. Braylon's out, but we still wanted to talk to Rob, so we'll do that in about 10 minutes from now. And then, of course, Beer Man. The guys at Woodward Bets are on absolute fire. They are on a freaking tear. And we have Chris Prince join us every Thursday. Gave us 2 winners last week, 2 for 2. He gave us the Thursday night winner, and then, of course, he gave us Purdue over Michigan State. So he was 2 for 2 on our show last week, and we'll see if we can do it again this week.
I got a stat that'll knock your socks off today for Thursday night football.
Well, go ahead and hold that. Go ahead and hold that.
But, hey, happy Veterans Day, by the way, to all our veterans, our mom, dad, everyone that's out there, uncles, aunts. Thank you for your service.
And that's really the point, right? Just a thank you, right? I mean, so guys like us could sit here and talk about sports and yell about the Lions. It's their sacrifice that is the reason we're able to do that.
Shout out to my man, Major Clarence Black, back home safely from Afghanistan. Welcome home, my man.
Absolutely, man.
You had to go to Afghanistan?
He was there since December. Just got back last week.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
We love Clarence.
I made you.
Guys, let's get into some sports here. Hardwood night last night. How about it? The Pistons beat the Rockets.
It was a good game.
112-104. Jeremy Grant had 35. Cade Cunningham had 20.
I know.
Crap game last night.
But it was fun to watch the two guys going at it. That's what I meant.
It was, and it was a reminder of how far the Pistons have to go, though, as well, too. I mean, they're still just picked up their second win of the season. They got a lot of growing to do, but it was good to see Cade Cunningham with the ball at the end of the game in winning time. 2 minutes to go. He gets the bucket with about a minute and 50 seconds left. That's one of the voids the Pistons have had for a long time. Who do you give the ball to?
As long as you don't talk about the shot he did prior to that.
Whatever. Who do you give the ball to down the stretch? He's the guy they hope can be that guy moving forward.
Well, he's going to be that point guard or that point forward. And the NBA is very uncreative at the end of games. What they do is they have a guy dribble out the clock and then throw up some cockamamie shot to try to win the game. But you would never, ever run that play during the course of a game.
Right.
Because then you'd be down by 50. So why do you run it at the end of the game? Run a play or do something that's productive.
And it is fun to see those two guys jawing at each other, right? I mean, if you think of those days where, the Pistons and the Bulls, or the Pistons and the Cavs, or the Pistons and the Nets, even, the Red Wings and the Avs, the Tigers and the White Sox had a thing for a while. What is Detroit's rivalry right now in sports? I mean, This could be one of those fun sidebar topics each and every year. One of those appointment viewing games that you watch each and every year when Cade goes up against Jalen Green, who had 23 last night, by the way.
If this works out, one day it's going to be Pistons-Rockets on Christmas Day. Because the Christmas Day, they try to do good matchups. I thought maybe they would try it this year before both teams went into the tank. But if this whole thing works out, the Pistons and the Rockets will be appointment viewing on Christmas Day, which officially or unofficially is the first day of the NBA season.
I believe that to be true.
I think that's when it should start, actually, Terry. I really believe. Look at these crowds in the NBA. If you're not, one of the big teams, no one's going to the game. People
Hell, even in Los Angeles last night, there was nobody
It's empty.
there.
People made fun of Little Caesars Arena. It's empty. The Rockets Arena, the freaking place was empty. No one. First of all, you don't have that kind of money to spend on all this stuff. And it's great. The secondary ticket market is where I'll buy my tickets from. That's where I like to buy my tickets from. But it's not easy to get to these games. And then on a Wednesday night NBA game, in November, it doesn't interest me. It doesn't interest me unless there's something there to see. If I want to watch a really good team like the Brooklyn Nets, per se, or the Milwaukee Bucks. Sorry, I say Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
Then I'll go. But do you really want to go see two bad teams?
Were they combined 2 and 17 or something ridiculous like that?
The Rockettes and the Pistons?
And the only reason it was on AB or ESPN last night is because of the 1 versus 2, right? And then Pistons' next 3 or 4 games, it's 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3, and then 1 versus 4.
Here's the kicker on that game: Jeff Van Gundy doing color for that game. And now we have the sound. It's not the best sound, so I need everyone to be quiet. We're going to play it as best as we can. But listen to Jeff Van Gundy when they put up this stat about our Detroit teams. Check it out.
Wow. What's a past drought? That's not a drought. That's horrific. Last series win. Pistons had a great run there for a long time. The Lions should have to go to NFL Europe and then bring somebody from the Munich, whatever the Munich team was, bring them over. I mean, come on. And what, they're 0-8 this year? And not won a game this year.
So what he said there was they showed a graphic of the last playoff series wins for each Detroit franchise. 2013 for the Tigers, 2013 for the Red Wings, 2008 for the Pistons, and then 1991, the last Lions playoff game. And Jeff Van Gundy says the Lions should have to go over to NFL Europe, and whoever the team from Munich is, bring them over here. And
the Frankfurt Galaxy, by the way.
And you know what? People here are so sad. I bet you a bunch of Detroit fans were offended. How dare he say that about the Detroit Lions?
They were.
It's just true.
Right.
I wonder if Jeff knew that was the only win since 1957. I bet you he didn't even know that.
Right.
People don't know that nationwide. They say, okay, the Lions haven't won a playoff game since 91, and they probably won one in 79 and 70, but they don't know.
No. I have no idea. It's so bad you can't help but not know.
That's why, this is a disservice going to happen here. We had to hear for all these years, the poor Cubby fans, and they haven't won anything in 100 years and everything. They should give the same treatment to Lion fans because these people are loyal. They love their team. You say something bad about them, they come after you.
Yep.
And, I think these poor SOBs around here should get the same consideration.
It's sad. They're so bad that they're forgotten.
Totally.
The Cubs are lovable losers. The Lions, they're not lovable losers. They're just forgotten.
But if you think about it, too, the Cubs have had some success, right? I mean, they were a game away from making it to the World Series in 1980.
Before all this happened.
Right. Game away from making it to the World Series in '84,
Yeah.
and then the
How great would that have been?
What's his name? The fan,
Steve Bartman.
Steve Bartman game. Before they won the World Series, though, they were so close a couple of times. The Lions have been nowhere near that kind of success that the Cubs have had. No,
to see that stat again, it drives me insane, man. 1991, and the Big D Energy had Lomas on earlier today, and it was a great interview. And Lomas, I think it was Nick who asked him. Nick Leach asked him about the 30-year anniversary. No, Stick even said it. Hey, what was it really like back in 1991, before I was born? Tell me how the city was really into this team. And Lomas was like, man. Lomas, he's going to go into his thing. And he's like, that was a great time. But who knew that would be the only time? And it's 30 years, man. It's 2021.
It's incredible.
I had a conversation with Robert Porcher, who was on that team.
Is he still around here or no?
Yes.
Number 91.
In 91.
Number
he
91.
Said he was convinced we're going to be rolling every year. This is going to be the Detroit Lions. Instead, what the Lions were back then were if they had the fifth place schedule, they won. They had the first place schedule. They finished 5-11.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's incredible to think about that.
And if you talk to some of the guys that played for that team, off the record, they'll say, maybe we should have had a change in coaching with Wayne Fontes.
Really, it was my brothers.
He's still my favorite.
Oh, he was hilarious.
The best with the media, the best with the fans.
Mm-hmm. Just couldn't carry it over the top.
The winningest and losingest head coach in Lions history.
That's right. I want to make mention that the Michigan Wolverines, in their opener last night at Chrysler, beat Buffalo 88-76. Hunter Dickinson with 27. So the Wolverines off to a 1-0 start. Number 6 in the country in basketball. Number 6 in the country in football. Lots to get to on a Thursday. Terry T-Foss in for Braylon. We're excited to have him today. And, of course, Rob Parker, Fox Sports 1, going to join us next. Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey guys, I want to let you know about our turkey games. The competition to win 2 front row tickets to Thanksgiving Day and a turkey, of course, Lions and Bears at Ford Field. Here's what you have to do, okay? You got to listen to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 o'clock, Big D Energy at noon, and the Bottom Line at 3 o'clock for your chance to qualify. The winner of the turkey games will get 2 tickets to Thanksgiving Day game, front row, plus a turkey. All you have to do is pay attention at 3 o'clock when I say the word WSN. WSN is going to be the word today. When I say that at 3 o'clock, be the first person to write it in the chat string on YouTube, and you will be today's qualifier for the turkey games. We will do qualifiers through November 22nd. We will have our final on November 23rd. So at 3 o'clock, I will say WSN. You be the first to chat that in the chat string on YouTube, and we'll get you qualified today, Maz.
Hey, can I say something about the Pistons last night and the Rockets, the Rockettes?
Sure.
And we can't wait.
we took Cade Cunningham, and I'm very happy he's here. But there's something that tells me that Jalen Green is going to really, really be good.
He's going to be a very exciting player.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's going to be a winning player.
You really don't think so?
I think he's going to be one of those really good, exciting players that will wow you on the highlights on SportsCenter, but he's not going to be a winning player.
But see, that's going to be determined by the organization.
Yeah.
Because he's going to put up a lot of points. He's going to be very dangerous. There's going to be times where people say, I don't know, maybe we made the wrong move. But I think what the Pistons figured out with Cade Cunningham is he's going to have the ball in his hand. He's going to try at some point will make others better. And Jalen Green's going to put up better numbers than Cade Cunningham. But the key is, will Cade Cunningham turn other guys into plus players?
Right.
That's the key right there.
Will he make other players better? I'll tell you, man, these two guys the Pistons got last year in Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart.
So good.
I mean, are those two guys just Detroit-style players?
Beef Stew is a
I
monster.
mean,
He's a
it
monster.
is just fantastic.
I'm worried about Killian Hayes, though. I
Yeah,
gotta
me
be
too.
honest.
Well, yeah, if Killian
Me
Hayes
too.
was a player,
Yeah, me too.
they wouldn't draft Cade Cunningham. They would have taken Jalen Green because
Man.
there's your knock dead
Wow.
scorer. But now Killian Hayes,
Oh,
afraid to shoot, can't shoot,
jeez.
and is learning how to set people up. He plays decent defense for a young guy,
Not
but
very good on the line either.
no, that's a little different.
You
Troublesome.
know what's funny today is we've got three former news guys with us today. So Terry's here. We got Rob Parker on with us now. Rob, are you there?
Here. Can you see
Rob,
me? What's up?
yes,
How you guys doing?
baby, my God.
Can't rob.
Come on. So we got
Hey, let me say this. To be on with like three of my favorite people in Detroit, and we all know that. First of all,
All right, he's lying already, but go ahead.
Ryan works way too hard. I can't believe how hard this guy works, and is so good at what he does. Maz, we know
Thanks,
Maz,
Rob.
world producer, and has been around forever and makes everybody better. And Terry, who I want you guys to know, when I first came to Detroit in 1993 to be a columnist at the Free Press, Terry reached out to me, showed me around town, and all that. So all three of you guys mean a lot to me. So it's great
Thanks,
to be
Rob.
All right,
We
Rob,
love you
we
too.
love you, man.
And Rob, let me praise heap some praise on Rob. When I was sick about 5 years ago, there's two people in the media that I really heard a lot from. It was Rob and Wojo.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the guys that reach out the most. And Rob was like, every day, you all right? You're going to be good? What's happening? And everything. I said, I think I'm going to be good. Not quite sure. But Rob, you came through. And you need people. You need just to talk to somebody. And I really appreciate that. Thank you.
That it's always, I always say this, it's always easy when life is good to be friends with somebody. It's when things are bad, actually, when you need friends the most.
And
So
you know who your friends are real quick when things are not going well
doubt.
for you, right?
No doubt about it. So all good. You see, I'm wearing my Columbia Sea hat.
The Lions.
I just noticed that.
I figured since I went to a school with a bad football team, this would be apropos for Michigan and the Lions.
Both Lions teams, too, right? Both Lions.
Yes.
Rob, it's so good to have you on with us today. I'm sorry Braylon's not here. He's got a wisdom tooth situation, but I know he's a huge fan of yours, and we'll get you back on when he's with us too. But I wanted to ask you first and foremost get to some NFL stuff with the news of the day that Cam Newton has re-signed with the Carolina Panthers. The impact that he can have with Carolina, Rob, is what?
I mean, he gets a quarterback that we know was at one time a Super Bowl quarterback and an MVP. Obviously, he's not at that level, but I'm not so sure. Last year, he started off pretty well with the Patriots, got COVID, never really bounced back, and this is a chance. He's been off for a while to finally get that arm right. So an experienced guy who can help them if he has something left in the in the tank, and I think he does. It's also pretty amazing that he wound up going back. Maybe it's because he had no other options. But, sometimes in life, you got to go backwards and go back to a place where they didn't want him and try to refigure it out. And maybe it could rejuvenate his career. He's not an old guy. And when you see Tom Brady and people like that still playing, this could be a chance if he plays pretty well at this stretch. Maybe he gets another opportunity somewhere else.
Yeah, but they always say in professional sports you can't go home. You can't go back home, particularly for coaches. But can a player do that? That's going to be the real difficult thing right there, because he's going to be really scrutinized in Carolina.
There's no doubt, but I think he wants to play football, and here's his opportunity. We're at the halfway point of the season, so I think he probably just said, I would rather play somewhere and get some time in than to sit out the entire year. So I do understand why he was willing to go back to Carolina.
Hey, they're giving him $10 million, almost $5 million guaranteed. They're a playoff team right now. It's them or Atlanta that could be the 7 or 8 team in the NFC. He's got a good team. McCaffrey comes back. And Sam Darnold, with the broken shoulder blade, he wasn't doing anything anyway. They give up 3 draft picks to the Jets for him. Those picks are looking good for the Jets right now. It's looking like Sam can't play quarterback in the NFL. I think he's in a great spot.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. It's not like you're going to the Lions or something. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
No.
Hey, Rob, what would you rather have, a salad filled with rusty nails that you have to eat, or Jared Goff?
You know what? I know Jared Goff, the year hasn't been good, but you know what's crazy is if you look at the numbers between what Matthew Stafford's doing this year.
Oh, here we go.
And what Jared Goff did in the year they went to the Super Bowl, let me tell you, Jared Goff's numbers are identical. I mean, nobody would believe that, but that team through the first nine games was 8-1. Stafford 7-2. Stafford has like 2,700 15 yards. Jared Goff had 2,700 on the nose. Jared Goff had 20 touchdowns and 6 picks. Matthew Stafford has 23 touchdowns and 6 picks. So it ain't that big of a difference. I know people think Stafford is the Messiah and he's going to lead them to the championship. I'll believe it when I see it. And let's not let Matt off the hook. He's got to win a Super Bowl in L.A. in order for this all to make sense. If he doesn't, he's no better. They went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
Hey, Rob, all our people on YouTube are asking me, get Rob to say Pat Stafford. Talk about Pat Stafford. What do you got to say about Pat Stafford? I think you just said it.
Well, yeah. I mean, they always stat Patford. And, that name fits. Everybody knows that name fits because we saw him for, 12 years, down 15, 21 points, piling up the stats at the end, make the game look decent. And all those stats. I was coming up. I'm going to admit this. I had a website ready to go before this trade to the Rams, and I was going to do a thing called the Stat Padford Index. Come up with a number and how you figure it out. And everybody, the way you would have quarterback rating, you would have a Stat Padford number. That if you were down by more than 2 touchdowns with less than 10 minutes to go or 8 minutes to go, all the numbers that you accumulate after that, they wouldn't count to your number.
Don't count. Talking to the great Rob
That's
Parker, Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, MLBBro.com. Rob, you got your hand in everything. Now that you're out there in Los Angeles, we were talking earlier about how irrelevant the Lions are nationally. Last night the Pistons were on ESPN and Jeff Van Gundy was ripping on the Lions, saying they should go to NFL Europe and give us the team from Munich. We'd have a better job doing that. What is the national perception of the Detroit Lions? And do you get, second part of that question, do you get a little sick to your stomach because you watched Stafford for 12 years here to see all this national, like almost just lather up the Stafford love? Do you get a little sick to your stomach with all that stuff?
I've thrown up in my mouth, Ryan, a few times because they really make it like he's the Messiah. And look, Stafford put up great numbers. If you just looked at his numbers, you would think this guy's a Hall of Fame quarterback. But we know that there are very few wins against good teams. There were a couple of years when he had a chance. People always talk about he didn't have anybody. They had the 5th best defense in 2015 when they lost that playoff game to the Cowboys. So that was a team. There was another year where they had a chance. I think it was that same year they had a chance to beat the Packers in the last game of the year, which would have given them the division, a home playoff game, and a bye. They lost that game. So there were a few moments where Stafford could have made a difference. And I think that's what I look at, is that there have been years when Aaron Rodgers hasn't had a defense and their defense is giving up 40 points, but he still finds a way to win some games. And Stafford was never able to do that. And I think that's the glaring thing to me that tells me I'm not going to be convinced that he can win you a Super Bowl until he actually does it. And all the Rams fans, they all got their eggs in this basket. And I'll believe it when I see it. But I do not believe that they're winning the Super Bowl. Definitely not this year.
Hey, Rob, I got to take a 30-second break. Can you hang tight with us?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Armani and Edwards. Rob Parker with us. Terry in for Braylon today. Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. One mortgage myth we hear all the time is having to choose between a 15 or a 30-year fixed term. At Hall Financial, we offer the modern mortgage to create a flexible term that fits your unique financial situation. Our team of mortgage experts are available 7 days a week to review your goals and customize a solution for you. Get started today with a free 5-minute mortgage review at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Right back here on the Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards. Braylon out today. He'll be back soon. Has a wisdom tooth issue that he's getting fixed. Terry Foster back with us here today. And Rob Parker joining us. Rob, we're going to have Lynn Hennig on in the 3 o'clock hour talking Tigers baseball. So between you, Lynn, and Terry today, I feel like this is Detroit News Old Home Week here.
No doubt about it, man. I spent 9 years there. Terry, how many years did you work at the News? I
was there for 26 years.
Wow, unbelievable.
I should get O'Hara on, too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Rob, I want to stick with the NFL if I could with you. Odell Beckham Jr. Clears waivers. He's choosing between 8 teams, probably choosing between more like 3. What is the best fit for Odell Beckham Jr.? What is the best fit, and where do you think he will end up?
I think the best fit is Green Bay, and I really do. I think he's been crying to work with one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers isn't the most accomplished quarterback. That's Tom Brady, okay? Because he's won all these things and has all this other 7 Super Bowls. But skill set, I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback I've ever seen. I'm just talking about skill set. Strong arm, touch, doesn't turn the ball over, can run for a first down. What can he do? He has the best touchdown to of the NFL. He also has the best quarterback rating of any quarterback who ever played in the league. So that's the kind of guy you want to team up with. And if he can be a missing link or an X factor and say get the Packers to the Super Bowl or win a championship and have some big numbers or some big touchdowns or big plays with Aaron Rodgers, I think that works to his advantage as far as his future in the NFL. Again, he's not that old, but he's been hurt the last few years, so he needs to go somewhere where he can have some success and people think of him as a winner. If you go to New Orleans, where they don't even really have a quarterback, I know that's home for him. He's from Louisiana, but I don't think that's the right place because he'll have the same issue that he had with Eli and the Giants at the end where he complained about the quarterbacking and in Cleveland. So I don't think that's a good spot. And then the other one is Kansas City, and they're trending down. And Patrick Mahomes isn't the same guy from the last couple of years. So I think Green Bay's the right choice. I really do.
Yeah, not that he would come here, but Rob, how long would it take for the old man to come up with a video on Jared Goff if he signed with the Detroit Lions? 15 minutes?
Yeah,
One day?
I think so about that.
Hey, Rob, you mentioned the Packers. What do you make of Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers and that whole situation over the last week and a half? And how quickly after they start winning games does this story go away?
Yeah, I mean, it will subside. I mean, Aaron really made a mess of it. Just admit it. Just be Kyrie. Just be Lamar Jackson. Just be Kirk Cousins, right? All these guys said that they weren't getting the vaccine. And, you know, it's a story for one day, and people move on and make sure you follow the protocol. That's all you had to do. When you mislead people, when you lie, when you stretch the truth, that's when it comes back. It's always the cover-up. So Aaron Rodgers put himself through unnecessary harm's way as far as the way people look at you. And once you've done that, and I'm talking about, you know, lie to people and whatnot, I don't know if you can always come back and get your reputation or have people trust you. And you want, like this is just me. I think if he ever really wanted that Jeopardy job, I think that hurt him as far as likability and people, you know what I mean, wanting him to have that job if that was ever open again down the road for him. I think that hurt him.
See, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has really been in tune with the Green Bay Packers for a while. You know, obviously he had this rough offseason. But the other thing with him, this is what I like about sports. People lie, they mislead people, and then when it comes out, it's everybody else's fault. That's what he tried to pull.
No, he did try to pull that. And the only thing I will say, Terry, is I thought this had been, other than the opener, which was a stinker, he had been playing well. They had won 7 games in a row. You remember the 37 seconds left. He pulled that game out in San Francisco. Then they go to the desert in Arizona. They were 7-0. They beat an undefeated team without his top 3 wide receivers. He's animated on the side. He's jumping around. He's excited. I thought there was some mending that went on with Green Bay and him, and that there was a chance that the Packers could come to him at the end of the year and say, we're trading Jordan Love, and we're going to commit to you for the next 3 years, give him fresh new money to his deal, and have him finish his career as a Packer. We saw Jordan Love the other day. Are you convinced that he's going to be a star quarterback in the league? I know it was only one game, but I don't think so.
Hey, Rob, let's talk about our favorite sport, baseball. The Braves were a great story. Win 88 games, make those great trades at the deadline, and they win a World Series. A GM, have you ever seen a GM pull off what that guy pulled off?
Oh, I thought it was like Dave Dombrowski. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a mistake.
Exactly, wrong one. No bullpen. How about Carlos Correa, man?
Know.
Tell us, is Carlos coming to Detroit?
He's going to get paid. There's going to be a market for him. And, you got A.J. Hinch sitting there, maybe, right? Maybe. If you got – it's all about the loot, though. You know that. It's got to be about the money. But, yeah, the Braves were a great story. I did pick them to win in 6 games. I was hoping that maybe Dusty Baker could get a World Series because he has been a great manager for a long time. He's taken 5 different franchises to the winning a division.
First manager ever to do that. Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. I mean, but he needed a World Series, and it's not over for him, obviously. But at 72, that was a great chance for him to get a World Series. But the Braves story was incredible. When you're missing your best player and you're able to rally and win a World Series the way that they did. I was in Atlanta for a few of the World Series games, and it was awesome. The atmosphere was great. The fans, have been through a lot. That's why they call it Choke Atlanta, but I officially took the tag off of them after this World Series.
Hey, how can they make the game better for the young kids? Can they start these games earlier? I mean, the kids can't watch these games. They're going to 12:30 at night. Dusty Baker, I think he changed 20 pitchers in one game. It's too much. Even for me, it's just too much.
Maz, I hear you, and it's the same age-old argument. Baseball works with the networks. They want the games on at that time. They're the ones who legislate. Ryan, you know this. Television calls the shots, and they want the games on late. That's when they want the games on because they're trying to reach a demographic. Baseball's making a gazillion dollars from television, and so I just don't see that as being the case. This is not when we were kids and we used to run home from school to watch a World Series game start at 4 o'clock. I mean, those days are long gone.
I do
So-
think,
Dude, we used to watch it in class. We mean run
Right.
home. We watch it in class, brother.
Rob, the thing with these networks, though, too, now is that I just can't get past is everybody is doing it a little bit different these days. The only thing people watch live these days is sports and news. So you could put these games on whenever you want, and people are going to watch them. In the world of the DVR, in the world of remote working, where most of the workforce seems like they're working from home anyway. I mean, you could have these games on earlier. I don't understand what the benefit is to keeping them on through midnight.
Well, here's the difference.
this is
Rob
the-
is out
this
on
is
the
the
West
problem.
Coast, right?
Exactly. This
And
is
that's
what-
the crutch right there.
Yeah.
Ryan, Terry, 100% is that, yes, when you're on the East Coast, you feel like that. But if you start the World Series game at 7 o'clock, people on the West Coast, it's 4 o'clock. They're at
Yeah.
work.
You don't
So
go
you
to
miss
games
a-
anyway. West Coast people don't go to games anyway. Come
And
on,
it
man.
takes West Coast people, it takes them 2 hours to get
I
home.
know.
So by the time they get home, the game
you
will
get
be
there
done.
in the fourth, you leave in the seventh.
Exactly.
Well, and I know you're out there in California, so close your ears. But 80% of the country lives in the Eastern and the Central time zone. So I mean,
get it.
Who cares about the
I
Pacific?
get it. But the number 2 city is Los Angeles.
yeah,
I know.
And-
no, you're
and
right.
They can't do it. I'm telling you, like it is. If you remember years back, they moved Monday Night Football at 8 o'clock.
Yes,
You
I
remember
love
it's
that.
on at
Yeah.
9. Yep.
Loved
All right, but that was 5 o'clock West Coast, and it only lasted for a year or two, and there were too many complaints, and the numbers, went down because they lost a lot of people who couldn't watch. So they tried that before. I remember it, and it
But it's
didn't work.
8:30 now. It's 8:30 now. The game starts at
No, the game
8:20
starts
or
at
8:30.
9.
No. It still starts at the 8 o'clock hour.
8:20 though.
Yeah,
8:20
8:20
instead of 8. So they moved it up. They moved
Using
the kickoff.
compromise.
They did move the kickoff up about 20 minutes because it was 8 and then
Yeah.
it goes to 8:20. Hey Rob, man, we're so happy for your success, man. We miss you so much over here. We love you. We miss you. And tell Skip and Shannon and Chris and all those guys we said hello.
No doubt, and as you know, Detroit has a fond spot in my heart, and spent 20 years there, got married there, got divorced there. I worked for every media outlet possible, and I want you guys to know that next October, October 22, celebrating the 20th anniversary of my barbershop, Sporty Cuts. on
Sporty
7
Cuts,
Mile Road.
baby.
20
Yes.
years.
Get out of here. Sporty
Unbelievable.
Cuts, man.
Unbelievable.
We'll have a big party.
Get robbed, man, and say hi to Joy Taylor for us.
Oh, we love Joy Taylor.
Be good.
MLBBro.com,
All right, guys.
Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports Radio, Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. We love them so much. Rob Parker, all the best, my friend.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
You
All right,
got
we'll see
it.
ya.
All right, guys. Got to get a break in. Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
All right, folks. You want to start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry, because we need to be warm in the winter, we need to be cool in the summer. You want to learn how to do this? Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. They'll teach you.
That's right. About 77K right out.
6. Goff going for it all this time and reaching for it, and
Look who
Look at
that
that.
is.
Look who it is.
It's Josh Reynolds.
How about it?
Josh Reynolds.
Hey, it's Jared
So
Goff.
it's
That's not
defensive
Matt
pass
Stafford.
Wow.
What?
That's old.
They're back. They're back.
So I think the Detroit Lions were watching The Rant yesterday.
They had to. Because minutes later.
How do you not? They picked up Josh Reynolds off of Terry, I lost my mind yesterday. I lost my mind yesterday because the question to Dan Campbell at the podium yesterday was, have you had a conversation about, Josh Reynolds potentially picking him up? And
Odell first.
Odell, and then, no, we haven't had any conversations about it. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about over there in Allen Park? First of all, you didn't have any conversations about Odell. Then you didn't go see Malik Willis versus Matt Corral play each other during a bye week. And then you're not having conversations about Josh Reynolds. I lost my bleep yesterday, but
that's the Lions.
Seriously, how can you not have a conversation about it? But apparently Brad Holmes saw all he needed to, and whether Dan Campbell was misleading us on purpose or not, or flat out lying to us, they do pick up Josh Reynolds. And now look, this is a guy who can play a little bit. He's 26 years old. He has experience in the league. He's had experience with Brad Campbell. He's got experience with Jared Goff. And you take a flyer on him for the rest of the season, maybe he's a guy that can fit with you over the next couple of years. He's a free agent at the end of the year, but you got first crack. Can you sell him on Detroit? And you get a first-hand look if this is somebody that you think you can win with down the road.
He's already the number one receiver on the team.
Right.
He's a guy from waivers is now the number one receiver on your team. You had to just pick him up.
That's sad. Really, really, really sad.
It's terrible.
But it's true.
Yeah.
And, short term, I don't see the point. But, you're talking about you sell him on long term with the Lions. If he can play, I don't think you can sell him here. If he can play, if he plays exceptional football, he's the hell out of here.
Yeah, but money talks.
If he's all right, he'll stay here.
Yeah, money talks, though, too. I mean, here's a guy who hasn't been paid yet. So
making $500,000 from the Lions.
Right. I mean, he's had that rookie contract, 4 or 5 year veteran. So like I said, he hasn't gotten paid yet, and we'll see if this is a piece of the puzzle that you could potentially move forward with. Could he eventually be a number 2 on your team? I don't know. Those questions should get answered over the next couple of months, I would think.
No, can he be your number 1 on your team?
Well, this year.
Yeah.
When the Lions are a playoff team, Josh Reynolds can't be your number 1, right?
No, you cannot.
Right, exactly. But if this is a guy that could be a number 2 or even a number 3 for you down the road, it's worth taking a look at. They had to do this.
Terry, I want to ask you about Lions Steelers. 0-8 versus, believe it or not, the hottest team in the NFL. They won 4 in a row in Pittsburgh. They're home, coming off a Monday night game. I heard you the other night, and I agree with you. Teams coming off a Monday night game are going to a little bit of a slow start to get going. They're not a great team. They have a pretty bad offense, pretty pedestrian offense. Chase Claypool might not play. He's got a bad toe. You got Harris in the backfield, Braylon thinks he's going to have a breakout game in the backfield. They have a pretty good defense. Mike Tomlin's coaching them. Do the Lions have a shot here?
Normally, you would say Lions, Steelers, no way, no how. But these are weird circumstances. The Lions are coming off a bye, and Pittsburgh coming off the Monday Night Football game. They should have a chance. But here's the problem with the Lions. The Lions are either a team that comes out on fire with something to prove, or they just come out like, hey, we're here, we don't care. So you never know what they're going to be.
Right.
Like the L.A. Rams. No way they're going to win that game.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And so they
played almost perfect.
They played
about
almost
the Baltimore
perfect.
Ravens.
I think I think Dan Campbell felt that he was almost losing his team. So we had to put in some trick plays. He had to do this. He had to do something to stimulate that locker room. Now you have them come up against Cincinnati.
That was an egg. They laid an egg in that game.
And you say, okay, this is a game they have a shot to win. They lay an egg. So you can't predict the Detroit Lions.
No.
You can't predict if they're going to come out on fire or just lay eggs.
I was thinking about this, too, about Dan Campbell and the team potentially quitting on him. I mean, how many losses can you go before the team quits on you? And I don't know if this is fair enough, but I was like, does it even matter if the team quits on Dan Campbell? Because there's only about 6 or 7 guys on this team right now
that you care about.
Yes. And as long as they don't quit on you, does it matter what the rest of the guys do?
It does from this standpoint. As a organization, you have to make a decision. Do you keep Dan Campbell as head coach? If his team quits on him, I don't care if he's been there for 1 year, then yeah, you do look at replacing him as head coach. If they're still hanging in there and and playing balls out, even if they go 0-17, you say, okay, maybe we'll stick with this guy. But how do you bring a guy back that goes 0-17?
I don't think you could possibly quit on Dan Campbell. I don't think you got to look at that guy in the eye and quit on him.
Okay, brother, have you seen some of the games?
Yeah, I know. Terry, they don't have any players.
No. You can still play with pride if you don't have talent, because sometimes they do play tough football. Yeah. You look at them and say, okay, this is pretty good. And then sometimes they just come out there like, whatever.
One of the things, too, with the 0-17, how do you bring a guy back with 0-17? Guy's got a 6-year deal. I mean, let's face it. Are they going to be any better than 4-13 next year? So you're talking about 4 or 5 wins, even if they pick one off this year. You're talking about 5 wins in 2 years.
I'm not looking at next year. I'm looking at, do you need to bring a guy in sooner who's competent, who's actually going to take this team to the next level when they do have talent? So if this team goes 0-17 and this team quits on him more times than not, then I do think you need to look at making an adjustment at coach.
I did look at an outlook, the rest of the season outlook on ESPN.com regarding the Detroit Lions.
Their half-season
gradings and reports. They have the Lions going 2-15. I do not see them winning 2 games. I don't see 2 games on this schedule that says win. I don't see it.
Hey, the over-under for Vegas is down to 1.5. So they're right there. They're either going to win 1 or they're going to win 2. They won't win nothing.
But if they win 1, it's going to be an aberration, right?
They might win this week. Listen, I got my eliminator pool.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the Steelers chosen, okay? But I'm not comfortable. I might change that pick by the end of the week. I got a hunch on this Lions team this week. I don't believe in Pittsburgh. I just do not believe that they could win 5 in a row, even against this team.
All right, Maz, here's what you need to do for the rest of the week. If you start hearing chatter that the Lions have an excellent shot at winning this game,
go the opposite way.
Go the opposite way.
Yeah.
If they're saying there's no way,
no chance,
the Pittsburgh's going to lose to these guys,
like Baltimore, the Rams, the Vikings, those 3 games, we said
those
no
were
chance,
sure bets,
no chance.
Yeah,
and those were the 3 games I almost won.
Can you imagine? I had Minnesota that week in my eliminator pool when the Vikings came back and after the Lions gave them another chance, and the Lions gave it. I'm afraid the Lions are going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game.
Okay, if you start hearing lots and lots of people saying that, go back the opposite way, brother. I don't want you to lose your money.
They're going to steal a game. Why not steal this one?
The problem with the Lions are the Steelers, too. Just watching them against the Bears on Monday Night Football, they play to not lose. The Steelers. They got up by 2 touchdowns, and then they play to not lose. And what happened? They nearly lost.
They should have.
They should have lost. Guys, we're going to do Chair of Flames next. Fun little segment. 8 questions. We'll do a round robin. We'll get you some music. We'll put up the chair on the big board. We'll have some fun. It's kind of like a this or that. We'll do it next. Germani and Edwards. Braylon out today. Terry in for Braylon. The Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey, gang, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, our studio sponsors and the place I put my sports wagering in. Yep, Thursday night football tonight. It's the Dolphins. Maybe no Tua tonight. It could be Jacoby Brissett. They're taking on the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh and the rest of the Ravens. Spread, 7.5. Baltimore favored. I'm going to mybookie.ag right now. Use that promo code Woodward. If you're a first-timer, they're going to double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. You put $1,000 in, you get $1,000 back. You put $100 in, they'll give you $100 back. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the Ravens, and you're going to lay the 7.5. I'll tell you why. Here's my stat of the day. Baltimore has outscored Miami in the last 3 games, 137-16. You heard me right, 137-16. So get over to mybookie.ag right now. Bet those Ravens. Use that promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And if you have a gambling problem, you got to take care of that. Call the Michigan Gambling Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Bottom line, Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Armani. Braylon Edwards is out today. He's got a wisdom tooth situation that he is trying to take care of. Terry Foster in. T-Foss, my man, so good to be with you.
Yes, sir. Good to be part of the family here.
Tom Mazaway.
Love it, man. Love it. We're talking sports.
Alex Mayer. Say hi, Alex.
Al May.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, Alex. And we got Sam Fisher, Fish Daddy, in the booth. How you doing, Fish Daddy?
I'm doing fine.
Hey,
yes, Maz.
Did Mom and Dad ask you about your shampoo yesterday? You had your shampoo back in Lady Jane's.
Yes, they did, yes.
And what did you tell them, Fish?
I said it was the best experience I've ever had at Lady Jane's.
There you go, Fish. That's what we like to hear,
Terry,
my
you
man.
should have seen the smile on this guy's face yesterday, Terry.
Good thing. Good thing. I'm happy for him.
We got them all lathered up there. Ooh-wee. All right, gang, here we go. It is the time of the day that we like to play the Chair of Flames. And how this works...
Flames.
It's kind of like a rapid-fire, quick question, quick answer situation. So I'll ask some questions... Terry will ask some questions, Maz will ask some questions, and we'll just do a round robin. How about that?
Sounds good. If you guys have any questions you want us to wrap off, good. Send them on YouTube.
There you go. Who wants to go first?
You lead off.
Okay, I'll lead off. I'll ask Terry first.
Okay. Then Terry will ask me.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, ready, Terry?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Chair of Flames. Ford or GM?
Ford. I've gotten Ford cars my entire career.
Spring or fall?
Spring, because fall, I know winter's coming. That depresses me.
Isaiah Thomas or Joe Dumars?
Ooh. Isaiah Thomas, he was the catalyst of the Bad Boys team, and he was a spark.
Rocky 1 or Rocky 4?
I don't know what happened in Rocky 4, so I'm going to have to say
Drago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
1.
1. The Old English D or the Winged Wheel?
Tough one, but I'm going to go Old English D.
Netflix and chill or night out with the fellas?
Night out with the fellas, because it's always a good time as long as I'm not out after midnight.
NFL on Fox, NFL on CBS, NFL on NBC.
NFL on NBC. Ugh. I knew you weren't going to like that. But I like someone that you don't like, Chris Collinsworth.
Is a yes or no question. A hot dog is a sandwich, yes or no?
Yes.
Ooh.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a hot dog.
It's a hot dog sandwich.
All
It's
right.
not.
Terry asks Maz now.
All right, Maz, you ready, buddy?
Let's go, T.
All right, a lot of mine involves food.
That's good. I'm good with food.
Because Thanksgiving is coming up, pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Sweet potato pie. I love it.
Apple pie or cherry pie?
Ooh. I like cherry pie.
Okay. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson. It's my favorite of all time.
All right. McDonald's fries or Five Guys fries?
Five Guys fries all day. Twice on Sunday.
All right. Los Angeles or San Francisco?
San Francisco. I love that. I love that temperature over in San Francisco. Get that nice breeze from the bay.
Here's the thing about San Francisco. It could be 75 in one spot and 35 in another.
I like that.
It's nuts.
It kind of gives you a little East Coast feel to it.
All right. Coffee or tea?
I hate coffee. Give me some tea.
Okay.
I drink iced tea every day.
Beautiful. Fried shrimp or fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
All right. You haven't been to Dotnettas, though. So
No.
but that's all right.
It's okay.
Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A,
right.
but you know what? I think both are overrated, to be perfectly honest. Give me the Colonel.
College football or the NFL?
Oh, come on, man. I'm an NFL guru. NFL is my life.
All right.
That's it.
And can I give him the bonus one?
Sure. Absolutely.
Steph Curry or Isaiah Thomas?
Ooh.
I'm Steph Curry till I die.
Really?
Yep. I love Steph
Are
Curry.
you
He's my favorite
kidding?
player of all time.
Steph Curry?
I love Steph Curry.
How come I didn't know that about you?
I don't know. I just love him.
How didn't I know
Because
that about
Maz
you?
is the same height with Steph Curry, and there's no other
Isaiah's
players
not that
like
much
that.
taller than me.
Jeez.
Yeah, he is.
He's
6
taller.
foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's 6 foot. All right, my turn?
Yep.
Yes.
Who am I feeding?
I think me.
All right, I'll feed you. Here we go. This is funny that you use Rocky. I got Rocky 2 or Rocky 4.
Rocky 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Adrian stuff in the middle. I think Rocky 4 could. Rocky 2 with the Adrian sickness in the middle. 20 minutes.
You don't like that
in
when
the
he's saying,
middle.
when he's talking about Mr. Marble and
Yeah.
he fell and
Yeah.
I caught you?
Yeah.
I didn't
You don't
like it.
remember
Fell
that?
and caught you. And,
And I caught you.
yeah. You know, I know I don't read too good, but
Oh, Rocky Jr.?
yeah.
Rocky. Paulie's
Paulie's
a pretty
a
good
good
name.
name.
Pretty good name. All right, how about M&M's? Plain or peanut?
plain.
Good boy.
Ooh.
Maize or blue?
Blue.
Craps or blackjack?
Blackjack.
Hot dogs or brats?
Brats.
A filet or a New York strip?
Strip.
Thick or thin pizza slice?
Thick.
Ginger or Marianne?
Oh, Marianne. With the quickness.
Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Ugh. King Kong or Godzilla?
Godzilla.
And Lucky Charms or Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Longevity.
Yeah, I don't like marshmallows.
No, I don't
That's what
either.
Broadwell told me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys are sick.
Sick.
I can eat a whole box of Lucky Charms marshmallows.
I think you're nasty.
No
Should
way.
I bring you them tomorrow, Maz?
Oh, that would be awesome. Thanks, Fish.
All right, Maz, now I ask you.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Run through 'em.
Ford or GM?
GM.
Spring or fall?
Fall.
Isaiah Thomas or Joe Dumars?
I'll go with Zeke.
Rocky 1 or Rocky 4?
Rocky 1's my favorite all-time movie.
Exactly. Don't be ridiculous. Old English D, which you're wearing, or the winged wheel?
It's also on my license plate. Old English D.
Netflix and chill or night out with the fellas?
Oh, I'm staying home.
We out.
NFL on Fox, NFL on
Stop.
CBS.
NFL on Fox.
A hot dog is a sandwich, yes or no?
No, of course not.
All right, now what do we got? Terry, I think you asked me.
I ask you?
Yeah.
Okay. Pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Pumpkin pie.
Apple pie or cherry pie?
Apple pie.
McDonald's fries or Five Guys fries?
McDonald's is the best fries of all time. Although Five Guys is a great fry,
great.
McDonald's is the best fry of all time.
You know,
period.
Wendy's is trying to say that twice as many people like their fries.
They
as
got the new
McDonald's
crispy. What is it? The
I
crispy.
crispy. They're never soggy fries.
Yep.
Oof, I think I like some soggy fries sometimes.
Los Angeles or San Francisco?
Los Angeles.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Fried shrimp or fried chicken?
Ooh, fried chicken.
Okay. Once again, he has not had Dotnettas, but that's okay. Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Chick-fil-A.
College football, the NFL?
Can I say tie?
No. Be a man.
College football.
All right, I already know the answer to this. So Steph Curry or Isaiah
Zeke.
Thomas?
I mean, Zeke is my childhood hero. You know, I mean,
Mine was Walt Frazier.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, freaking
Love Clyde.
Did you like the way he dressed?
Loved everything about him.
God. Isaiah Thomas. I mean, that's my guy.
You know what? I hate to talk bad about Joe Dumars. I like Joe Dumars too.
Right.
You know,
Very
love Joe.
Solid guy.
I
wish-
love Joe, but there was something intriguing to me about Isaiah Thomas. I don't know. He was
He's still a man of mystery.
He was just a killer to me. I just loved his competitive nature. he was going to put, if he could put his foot on your throat, he would put his foot on your throat. And I love that about the guy. Like,
how about him against Bernard King that one night at the Joe Louis Arena?
I mean, and I think I like Isaiah Thomas too, and I love Isaiah Thomas because I never felt he ever got his just due in that era. Ever.
No, because he got
you liked his
on.
killer instinct?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story a lot of people don't know about. Isaiah Thomas used to be pissed all the time because Jack McCloskey a lot of times drafted point guards. And Isaiah always looked at it, or he's looking for my replacement. So they had drafted Doug Overton. I think it was even in the second round.
I remember Doug Overton.
So anyway, Isaiah Thomas challenges Doug Overton to a game of one-on-one after practice. So Isaiah would say, okay, I'm going to cross you over, fake left, go to the right, and layup. And that's what he would do. And he told him everything he was going to do. And on the final play, Isaiah did a step back three and said, Doug, you done dug your ass a hole. And he just dogged him in front of the media. He did that. And that was his way of saying, Doug Overton, you don't belong on this team.
Wow.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and so I brought it up to Isaiah, and Isaiah said, well, I told him everything I was going to do. I said, yeah, but dude, you don't tell somebody what you're going to do and then just do it.
Freaking love Isaiah Thomas, man. Love Isaiah Thomas. Hey, guys, top of hour number 2. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by, are we talking to Lynn right now?
We are.
Talking to Lynn Henning. We'll get you a little Tigers update. How soon will you see Riley and Torque? What will the Tigers do in the 3 o'clock, in the 3 o'clock hour? What will the Tigers do in the free agent market? And don't forget about that gobble gobble.
Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row on Thanksgiving. All you have to do is survive our squid game. Nope, our turkey games. Listen every day to the Morning Woodward Show at 9 a.m. Big D Energy at noon. And the bottom line at 3 p.m. for your chance to qualify. The winner of turkey games will get tickets to the Thanksgiving Day Detroit game.
Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't you be in Detroit losing a football game right now?
Plus a turkey. So if you think you can master our turkey games challenges, watch, listen, and win. Make sure you're following @Woodward Sports on all social media or go to woodwardsports.com for additional chances to qualify. May the best turkey win.
Top of hour number 2, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani. Braylon Edwards is out today dealing with a tooth issue, a wisdom tooth crack. I know that sounds
I hope he doesn't lose any wisdom.
Harsh. Well, how could he? The notebook's this thick.
I know. I know.
Terry Foster sitting in for Braylon today. Tom Mazaway alongside as usual. It is a pleasure to be joined now by longtime Detroit News columnist, one of the greats, Lynn Henning. Lynn, how you doing, my friend? How you doing?
Ryan and old colleague Terry and Matt. Boy, what a trio and troika I'm joining here.
Good to have you, Mr. H.
I'm impressed by all the books you have behind you.
He's read them all, too.
Yes.
Well, Book of the Month Club has done very well by me.
All right.
Hey, Lynn, Lynn, great to catch up with you. First thing I want to ask you, just as a longtime observer, reporter of the Detroit Tigers, what did you make of their 2021 season?
The first month went just as I expected when they were 3-18, something like that. And that's about what was anticipated, because coming out of camp, I said this is going to be a disaster. But I also knew that with the infiltration of some of the young blood and with the arrival of some pitchers and so forth, they were going to get better. And the only surprise, Ryan and Terry and Maz, is that they got so much better so quickly. And that was a competitive baseball team plus over the last 5 months. So they moved on their time frame just a little more rapidly than I might have anticipated, but they're about where I thought they would be after the 2021 season, and that's at least crowding 500. Next year, they got a chance to do that much better.
And I think it's that accelerated timeline that has everybody paying attention to this offseason. And obviously, I'll hit you with the name that everybody's talking about, Carlos Correa, 27 years old. The relationship with A.J. Hinch, going to probably get a contract north of $300 million over 10 years. Is this a player that's the Tigers if they're willing to pay it?
Everybody likes the player. I think the problem, though, guys, is in 5 years they're going to hate the contract. And that's the peril of going after a guy like Correa for $300 million plus. And there's no question in my mind it's going to take something along those lines. So you got the Yankees are out there bidding for him. The Tigers are certainly prepared. And if you sign a guy at 27, again, you can expect about 5 seasons here of very good play. Then what are you dealing with on the backside? Because that contract's probably going to go for at least 8 years. Now, they have figured this out. But always, I know when fans get in a hurry to get that billboard guy, they're forgetting kind of what they're dealing with now with of course, Miguel Cabrera and what was forecasted a long time ago. This was going to be a very uncomfortable contract for the Tigers to get resolved through the waning years. The same scenario looms with a guy like Carlos Correa. But again, they're factoring that into the equation. If they can pursue him, they know exactly what it's going to take, what they can do with him after his time at shortstop, if there's going to be a DH role or something like that. You can justify that on certain levels. I think I'm more concerned, guys, in that it's going to crowd their payroll for a long time. This is still a mid-market team, and you have to realize that. Doesn't matter what people think they're doing on the pizza side. That's frankly separate from the fact you've got to look at the reality of the business place as it applies to the Detroit Tigers and its market. Any owner is going to look at it that way. And they do not have unlimited funds. And frankly, when we've seen some of the past crazy spending that really put them behind the 8 ball, fans wouldn't and shouldn't want to see that again.
I was going to bring up the Miggy contract. I'm going to give you a promotion. You are in charge of the Tigers. You're the GM. Would you sign Carlos Correa if the only way you can get him is through a 10-year deal, knowing what the Tigers have gone through the last few years with Miguel Cabrera?
No, Terry. Here's where I think I would cap that. You might be able to rationalize it for 8 years, but if you're looking at a 10-year contract, no. That's going to leave everybody miserable. And again, I've said it, I've written it. It's a little like that old line about the guy who buys the boat. The 2 happiest days in that person's life are the day they buy it and the day they sell it. The thing is, you can't sell that free agent contract. You're stuck with it. And of course, they're finding that out and have found that out with Cabrera. It was known all along. That gets into a separate case evaluation because Mike Ilitch was paying that money both to make him a perpetual and eternal monument to the Tigers and also somewhat to say thanks to him. And I think Mike probably in the back of his mind knew he also wasn't going to be around to have to deal with it on the very back end. I think he got a little pragmatic there. But no, Carlos Correa, if you can get him for 8 and feel like that's the investment that you can and should make, then do it. But again, they're not going to be the only bidders here looking at it from that particular perspective. And when you're going against the Yankees for a celebrity player, you have to wonder why are the Yankees not paying that extra dollar that the Tigers might. So there's a lot to think about here, guys. I think you'd still want to talk about the options. Trevor Story, if he's gotten past some of the arm issues that he had at the middle of the year, is probably a guy that might be a very good plan B for them. That depends what the scouts saw over the last couple of months because, again, his throwing at midseason was of deep concern, which is why there were not teams trading for him last July. I don't know that they're also not going to find that Ryan Kreidler might, in fact, as he's gone on this ascent, this trajectory, might be their best answer at shortstop. And, boy, if you could bring a kid in at 24 and he's got 20 home runs in him, And he's done nothing but gone north here as you've challenged him at different levels over the last year. You've got to keep open the possibility that he might be your answer. There's also the consideration that you might be able to move him to third base if you get Correa, and then you're trading Jeimer Candelario, who all along is a guy that I thought was most likely to get dealt this offseason at a point where he would bring them a nice return, and they could afford to move on from him and get another piece like a pitcher that they really desperately need. But this is all stuff that they're hashing out now, and it's somewhat shackled to the fact that there's no CBA yet, and that's what's got a lot of teams a little reluctant to make the push right now.
Lynn Henning joins us, Detroit News Emeritus, great columnist. We love him. He's in the Atlanta area now. He got to see the Braves win the World Series, so he might have brought him a little luck there, Mr. H. I wanted to ask you about, talking about pitching, Justin Verlander's name's out there. A couple of the Tigers, including Miguel Cabrera, reached out to him on Twitter. Hey, man, come home. We miss you. We love you. Tigers, Yankees the other day, watched them pitch. Here's a guy that takes great care of himself and probably could pitch well into his 40s if that arm is healed. Do you see JV coming back here?
No, Maz. I mean, all along the sentiment was there for that to happen. But when the Astros have made him a qualifying offer, which means he's got 18 mil in his pocket right now, and the Tigers would have to sign him for a couple of years, I don't see that happening. I think they've got other more practical options. And it's a market right now that has a lot of pitching in it, whether you want to trade for it or sign it on the open market. John Gray is one of those guys that you wouldn't have to give compensation for as he prepares to leave the Rockies. And he would be a very, very, very handsome option for them right now. I know that based on John Morosi's reporting, they're chasing him. But he could be precisely the kind of guy they need for very little compensation. In fact, for none except for a contract. So what we're looking at here is some favorable options because the market is flush with shortstops and pitchers, and these are the two commodities the Tigers most need. But I think, guys, you're going to see a trade made as well, and for me, that's got Jeimer Candelario written all over it.
Last one for you, Lynn. I want to ask you about the two guys that Tiger fans have been hearing about for a long time, Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson. When will we see those guys in the majors? I mean, it looks like they've torn up every league they possibly could tear up. Every A that there is to tear up, they have torn it up. When will we see those guys at Comerica Park?
You will see Riley Green on opening day in center field for the Tigers.
Nice.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Spencer Torkelson at first base. That's a little more guarded. They might wait a few weeks simply because that would be in everybody's interest, perhaps if he spent 3-4 weeks at least in the minors. That helps out from a year of ownership that they would retain, keeps them away from some early arbitration, that kind of thing. But more to the point, they probably can get by with him just taking it a little bit easy and seeing a little AAA pitching through May, and then he's going to be ready. But you're going to see those guys, both of them, I am certain, in the first 30 to 40 days of the 2022 season, with Green starting in center field.
Awesome. How about our new catcher, Tucker Barnhart?
They got him for the equivalent of robbery, in my estimation. People will say, well, it's $7.5 million. Yeah, well, big deal. Because that is the kind of money you can pay for a very good defensive catcher who's also got a left-handed bat and can hit an occasional ball into the seats. But he is a steal, particularly when they gave up only a draft pick that I had thought was certifiably a bust, and that was Nick Quintana. Now, never say never about a guy. He could yet develop, and certainly the Red Scouts saw something and they thought was salvageable. But for today's evaluation on that and assessment, the Tigers absolutely got away with larceny in getting Taylor Barnhart or Tucker Barnhart.
That's awesome.
Right. Who's going to bat third for the Tigers next season?
That's a good question, Terry. I suspect it's not going to be that big of a deal, but it wouldn't be surprising if they go with a little bit of a veteran bat there. Now, if Candelario's back, he could always bat third. You can bat Cabrera third. They're not going to do it. I doubt it. But that to me, the batting order is not a big deal. They aren't going to want to give Tucker Carlson any immediate exposure at the third spot. And Riley Green is a leadoff hitter or a second hitter for sure. But it's a good question, Terry. But my feeling about the batting order is that you can always virtually shake that thing up in a salad dispenser and take whatever kicks out, because it's not for me the big a deal. But it's a good question, and it's one that AJ Hinch is going to have some fun with.
Thankfully, the Tigers will not sign Tucker Carlson this year, though. Tucker Barnhart. But Lynn, it's funny because we had Tucker Barnhart on with us a couple of days ago, and I typed, into the Google search, I typed Tucker, and Tucker Carlson stuff comes up first. So.
Please no.
He's a little bit better known than.
Please no.
Tucker Carlson might plan, but Detroit's not.
Lynn, thanks so much, my friend. We certainly appreciate the time, and hopefully we can talk Tigers baseball with you again sometime soon. Enjoy the winter weather there in the state of Georgia.
Okay, Ryan. Terry, good catching up with you. And
you too, man. Be good.
See you,
all right, guys. We'll see you. And man, that is so funny when we had Tucker Barnhart on. So, I mean, you do a simple Google search, you type in Tucker, the first guy that pops up is Tucker Carlson. And I'm like, why am I researching Tucker Carlson? And like, oh, no, Barnhart.
He's going to play catcher for the Tigers.
All right.
He can't hit, though.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we'll take a break. Come right back. When we do, want to jump back into some NFL talk, college football talk, NFL draft talk. Mel Kiper's got a new big board. 2 Michigan Wolverines in the top 10. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Look, inventory not a problem over there. If you want to buy a car, feel free to do so. They got the car for you. If you want something else, any make, any model on that pre-owned lot, they've got you covered. And if you don't want to buy a car, how about selling them your car? That's right. Pre-owned cars are so hot right now. And if you can get through the next 3, 6, 9 months, you might be working from home. You can get by without an extra car in the driveway, and you can use some extra cash around the holidays. Sell them your car. Walk out with thousands today. Doesn't matter whether you own the car or lease the car either, because Les Stanford is your authorized lease return center. Check in on that today. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com, or call them 313-565-6000, 313-565-6000. Les Stanford Chevrolet, find new roads. Thanks for joining us here on WSN.
What did you say?
Thanks for joining us on WSN.
I thought so.
There you go. Brian Armani. Good job, Fish. Well done, my friend. Terry Foster in for Braylon today. Tom Mazaway with us as well. You know, one of the things that we started talking about after week 2, I think, with the Detroit Lions.
The NFL draft?
It was the NFL draft. Usually you could wait at least to the midway point in the season. We started talking about it right after that Packers loss, and why not? But Mel Kiper came out with his new big board on it, and there's not a quarterback. Look, this quarterback thing, you don't have to take a quarterback first overall, but you're probably going to draft a quarterback at some point. The first quarterback on his big board isn't until number 20. He's got Kenny Pickett, the quarterback from Pitt, at number 20. That's the first quarterback on the board. Here's what Mel Kiper had to say about the quarterbacks in this draft class.
All things considered, how does this class at quarterback compare to last year?
Not nearly as good, but I think there's some intriguing guys. Kenny Pickett, to me, is like a Derek Carr. Derek Carr at Fresno State was a borderline first. I had a first-round grade him when he dropped to the early second round, 36th pick overall. Blake Bortles, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater went ahead of him. Remember, Jimmy Garoppolo went in the second round that same year. But I think you look at a Derek Carr type is what Kenny Pickett is. Last year he had the ankle. This year he's healthy, and he's lighting it up. And he brings that same skill set that Derek Carr had to a football team in the NFL, probably as a later first-round pick, maybe a mid-first-round pick. You say, what quarterback has the most upside? Quarterback that you mentioned, Green, is Desmond Ridder at Cincinnati. Physically, athletically, he has it all. Precise, accurate passing, lacks consistency there. Same thing with Josh Allen. If you can fix that, Desmond Ridder, of all these quarterbacks, may have the most upside going into the NFL.
David, you look skeptical on that one.
Desmond Ridder is very easy to like, very hard to love. Oh. Like he's got the great intangibles. He's got the great height. He makes things very difficult for his wide receivers consistently. So from an accuracy standpoint, Mel, the struggles, the easy layups, the missed free throws, those are a hard thing to fall in love with.
Then let me ask you, David, just on the names here.
I'm with you, Dave. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why Desmond Ridder is the fourth quarterback that Mel Kiper has in his rankings. Malik Willis, he's got the quarterback from Liberty, ranked at 25 on the big board. Malik Willis, a second quarterback. Look, I saw all I needed to see with Malik Willis over the weekend. No franchise quarterback has thrown 3 interceptions in a game.
Only completed, I think, less than 10 passes.
Yeah, the year before he got drafted. Number 1 overall or anything like that.
He's
right?
a runner first. He can throw the deep ball. We don't even know how, what's his name at San Francisco is going to turn out. Trey
Lance?
Yeah, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance got to be playing. He's the only rookie quarterback not playing right now. He's the only one.
Yeah, we have no idea how he's going to even turn out. But would you waste a second, third, or fourth round pick on a quarterback this year?
Well, the Lions don't have a fourth. They don't have a fourth, and they don't have a fifth. They've got 2 firsts, a second, and 2 thirds.
All right, one of your thirds. Would you use them?
Maybe you wait another year. Maybe you see what the prospects are for the following year before you make that move. But it makes no sense just to draft somebody,
right?
Just to draft slop to come in
I'm
here.
with you, Terry, and it's a waste of a pick.
They need people.
I think of those 5 draft picks, the Lions have to have at least 4 starters. Your 2 first-round picks and your second absolutely have to be starters for you in 2022. And then one of your thirds have to emerge and be a starter for you. Obviously, you'd like to go 5 for 5, but you absolutely have to be 4 out of 5.
I will do this, and it's what Braylon said, and he's got me on the train. He's got me on the Mike White train, the Jets' backup quarterback who played for Southern Florida.
Right, third-year guy, first-year playing.
Yeah, Western Kentucky. Now he's playing with the Jets. He was a throwaway. He was a 5th-round pick, couldn't stick with the team, went to a couple other practice squads, winds up with the Jets, throws for 425 yards 2 weeks ago. Last week, took him right down the field against the Colts, touchdown, then he gets hurt. He starts this week. I want you to watch him this week, Terry. Mike White with the New York Jets, because they have Zach Wilson already, and they got Joe Flacco as their backup. They got Josh Johnson as a backup. Mike White, I want to tell you this, Terry. You remember Scott Mitchell? He played all those games with the Dolphins when Dan Marino went down. That's when he made his money. The Dolphins, they showed what he can do. Lions came back, and they got him the next year. And he did pretty damn well for the Lions, Lions.
Yeah, until they had the mutiny in the locker room.
I understand that.
All right.
But he did his part for at least 3 years. Mike White, I think, can be that guy here.
And moral of the story, you don't have to, I think we're all agreeing here, you're not going to draft somebody high up there. You're going to look to the free agent market, whether you can get a Tyrod Taylor or maybe you roll the dice with Jared Goff. Maybe Jared Goff is going to get you through another year, at least.
I want a guy that maybe can be the guy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're going to get that next year.
Mike White maybe can be the guy.
I don't know if you're going to get that next year. What you've got to do, though, if you want to put up the Kuiper big board there, he's got Thibodeau, the defensive end from Oregon, number 1. Hamilton, the safety from Notre Dame. I like that safety from Notre Dame. Cornerback from LSU, number 3. Offensive tackle at Alabama, Evan Neal, 4. At number 5 on his big board, he's got Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end from Michigan. And then at number 10 on his big board, David Ojabo. How about that? From unranked, not ranked on his big board, to the 10th best player in the country, David Ojabo. And that will help Michigan, I think. These two guys on the end, play these final 3 games out, Ojabo and Hutchinson.
Do you think Hutchinson stays for a senior year?
No, absolutely not. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Not in this day and age anymore.
Too much money's at stake.
Michigan Kev on YouTube says...
You want to start your clock, too. You want to start your clock to get paid, right?
Michigan Kev says we're supposed to get 2 fifth-round compensatory picks for Marvin Jones Jr. and Jamal Agnew from the Jags, and a 3rd-round pick for Galladay.
Yeah, that's the 3rd-round pick that I'm
so
counting.
He's like maybe 2 fifth-rounders are coming our way as well.
Yeah, perhaps. I got to look at that. I know we don't have a 4th and a 5th. Those are traded away. I don't know about the compensatory action. We do. I know about the 3rd-round compensatory. That's why I add that in the 2/3.
But you're not talking about using the 5th round for a quarterback, are you?
No. I'm past that.
Okay.
I'm past
because,
unless Tom Brady's there.
Well,
you can get him in a 6th round.
Yeah, there's not going to be another Tom Brady. But, normally, 5th-round quarterback pick, you know what that is? That's a 4-letter word. Flop.
Yeah.
Not going to make it.
Or 3-letter word.
Guys, I'm going to get a break in. When we come back, Corey Woods, the Roar on Woodward Report. Get you caught up on everything happening out there with the Detroit Lions today. Armani and Edwards Braylon out today. Terry Foster, T-Fost, in for him. Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for the Foaling Warehouse. What's Foaling? Home of the original bowling pin game called Foaling. You throw a football at the 10 bowling pins down the lane. That's what Foaling is, and it is a blast. Host your corporate party, team bowling event. Now, just come in with your family or friends. 2 ways to play. $10 unlimited open play. You can start right in the beginning and go till they close, or a private lane reservation, $120 for 10 people for 2 hours. They got over 100 beers and that special machine, the $2 mystery beer machine. Put $2 in and you drink what comes down the machine. Full multiple bars as well, and you can bring your own food in or have it delivered. The Foaling Warehouse. Get your foal on. Check it out at thefoalingwarehouse.com.
Happy Thursday. This is Corey Woods with the Woodward Sports Network, checking in with your Detroit Lions update. As the Lions prepare to face the Pittsburgh Steelers this Sunday, several of the coordinators talked today, and one of them who had a lot to say was Aaron Glenn.
Man, this is just a challenging team in general because of who they are, because of the organization, because of the mentality, and because of the culture of this team. So those are things that we have to get ready to fight, not just as a defense, just as an overall team. They've been in these situations for a long time, and they understand how to win games. But when you look at them, as far as their personnel, Najee's a really good back, right? He's a big back. Once he gets his shoulders turned downhill, man, he's hard to stop. So we got to make sure we can get that guy going east and west as much as possible. And you see it a lot in the red zone. Then they got a tight end that they draft out of Penn State. He's showing up. He's a good player. So those are some things that are some guys that we got to really try to focus on and not let those guys beat us and force somebody else to try to beat us. So, again, the personnel is what it is. I mean, Ben, he's a future Hall of Famer. I don't take a look at, what he can do and all this. I just know what he's done over his career. And the thing is, this team is winning a lot of close games. That tells you something about how they operate.
That's it for today. Corey Woods with your Detroit Lions update, checking in from Allen Park. See you guys next time.
All right, so that's Corey Woods, the Lions beat reporter, Woodward Sports Network. I'm Ryan Armani. Terry Foster alongside as Braylon is out today. Tom Mazaway with us as well. We're going to talk to Chris Prince, Beerman of Woodward Bets, coming up in about 10 minutes from now.
Remember 24 hours ago, just about now, is when you had your little rant yesterday on the Lions and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Who are you going after? What do you talk about? As soon as our show went off the air, voila, they signed their wide receiver.
I think they were watching, Terry.
They were.
Hey, while we're talking about football,
Ryan.
I want to transition to college quickly, if I could, Terry. What did you make? What was your take on the whole rankings this week with Michigan being ranked in front of Michigan State? It seems to be the one thing everybody was talking about this week since the rankings were released on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I had two thoughts on that. One is that the primary reason Michigan flip-flopped with Michigan State is the Block M is more powerful than the Block S. And I understand Michigan State had a horrible loss to Purdue, but when you look at the college football committee, in every scenario, the team that beat the other team when they have the same record, they have the team that won ahead of them. But it really doesn't matter because Michigan State, despite being ranked behind Michigan, is in the driver's seat ahead of Michigan. Let's say Michigan State runs the table, which they probably won't do, but if they run the table, they will have something that Michigan can't match. They'll be 12-1, they'll have the Big Ten title, and they'll have victories over Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. Michigan can't
and probably
duplicate
Wisconsin.
That. Huh?
And probably Wisconsin,
and probably
too.
Wisconsin or Minnesota or maybe in Purdue,
team.
whoever it's going to be. Michigan can't duplicate that. The best Michigan can do is finish 11-1, which is a great season, finish second in the division, but still have that loss to Michigan State. And I understand that Harbaugh and everybody said, well, the officials screwed us, but the bottom line is it's a Michigan State win. So it doesn't matter where Michigan and Michigan State are ranked in the college football rankings because Michigan State is still ahead of Michigan as far as getting into the college playoff semifinals.
Terry, we talk Michigan and Michigan State every day, and we always talk about, if Michigan runs the table, if Michigan State runs the table. Legitimately.
But in the back of our minds, we're thinking it's not going to happen.
That's my point. That's what I was going to ask you. Legitimately, do either of these teams have a shot against Ohio State? And quite frankly, I don't even know if Michigan's going to beat Penn State this weekend.
That is true.
But that's another story for tomorrow.
The spread flipped 3 points, by the way.
It did. It went from Michigan being a 1.5-point underdog to Michigan being a 1.5-point favorite. That's
a toss-up game.
That's Michigan money.
As far as Ohio State is concerned, whenever we think Ohio State is vulnerable, then they just up their game to a different level. That's what they've done this season. Because there have been a few games, it's like, okay, Ohio State, they can be beat, And once you say that, then they beat somebody by 50.
I'm like in my, we just did the Mel Kiper big board. He's got Hutchinson and Ojabo, 2 defensive ends on Michigan, top 10 in the country of all the college football players in the country. He's got 2 Michigan defensive ends as the top 10, and I'm thinking to myself, is that what it takes to beat Ohio State? And then in my heart of hearts, I'm like, man, and that still probably isn't enough to get it done. In my heart of hearts, I come out here, rah-rah, yeah, Michigan, go blue. But until I see it happen, I just don't think that I could really visualize Michigan beating Ohio State.
Yeah, it gives you a better chance because when you look at Ohio State, either against Michigan, they just run the football whenever they want, or the quarterback, whoever it is in there patting the ball because I got so much time, I'm going to pat the ball and look around and everything. Hutchinson and Ojabo give them the best chance to beat Ohio State because if they are allowed to play their game and if they put heat on the quarterback, you take patting the ball away from Ohio State. The other thing Ohio State has is they have the speed on Michigan. And that's been so evident the last few times they played. It's like, damn, these dudes just taking off, and they can't catch them. So football in general, I used to be afraid of the big guy. Now I'm afraid of the speedy guy. In Ohio State, until we see otherwise, they're still the speedy guy.
They got all the speed.
And I wanted to ask Terry about this week's game. Let's concentrate Michigan and Penn State, because I think MSU is going to handle Maryland, handle them pretty well. They're favored by 13. I can't see them winning by less than 21. Do you think?
Really?
Yeah, I do believe MSU will just dominate Maryland.
Huh.
Michigan, I'm a little nervous about this game if I'm a Wolverine fan.
Well, of course.
I'm just asking Terry, not you.
You should
asking
be.
Terry.
But really, when you look at the Big Ten, there's really 4 teams: Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. And yes, somebody from the West is going to win some games now and then, but you don't fear those teams. When you're on the field with Penn State, it's like, okay, you got to play big boy ball to win. And I understand they lost to Illinois, but sometimes I think these teams in the East overlook teams in the West. And so I think Michigan and Michigan State would beat Penn State.
Okay, good.
But the big boogeyman is Ohio State.
Well,
Right.
yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
And, if you look at Maryland, they really don't score a lot of points. 14 points against Penn State. They did score 38 against Iowa, but that's an aberration. Otherwise, their last 5 games, 14 points, 38 points, 16 points, 17 points, 14 points. So in 4 of their last 5 games, they couldn't score more than 17 points. That's a recipe for disaster against Michigan State.
Yeah, it is. Maryland has no shot.
Unless we saw Purdue's strength matched up against Michigan State's weakness. Michigan State's weakness is this secondary, and they don't give up long plays, but they'll give up a million 9-yard, 14-yard plays and everything. If Maryland is able to do that, then Michigan State's going to have some problems.
Purdue was home too.
It was home, but it's still the recipe. It's the bugaboo. Western Kentucky was not at home. It was at Spartan Stadium, and although they lost, Western Kentucky, in my mind, scared the bejabbers out of the Spartans.
We'll take a break, come right back when we do. Chris Prince, Beerman, Woodward Bets. They've been on a tear. 2-0 for us last week, gave us the Thursday night winner, and then, of course, Purdue over Michigan State gave you that winner as well. We'll see if we can get a couple more out of beer. We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards, Terry Foster in for Braylon today, Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Did you know mortgage rates are still at generational lows? If you haven't refinanced your home loan yet, there's still time. Now is your second chance to refinance. You could lower your monthly payment, eliminate credit card debt, or even take cash out by using your home's equity. Call Hall Financial now to get started with your free 5-minute mortgage review. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Who likes vodka?
We all do.
We all do. How about who likes vodka with 50 different formulas?
Me.
That would be me too. Now, what I'm getting at is you're going to have to try Gypsy Vodka. It's the latest and greatest, and it's local. Gypsy is gluten-free, which means, Ryan, you can drink as much as you want.
Absolutely.
It's corn distilled 6 times using artesian
tip your server
spring water. In fact,
that's good stuff.
That's good stuff. Yeah, there's no chemicals and stuff, and that's clean water they're using. Support local brothers here in Michigan. Try a bottle today. Ask for it by name. Gypsy.
Hey now.
And of course, always drink responsibly. I want you to come back home.
That's right. Thanks for that, Terry. And I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Guys, look, it's hard to look this good, but it's easier if you come to Lady Jane's to help you do it. Maz is cracking up over there. I'm glad somebody saw the sarcasm in that. 3-step process here at Lady Jane's. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. The best ability is availability. Lady Jane's always available for you. Come on in. It is wicked awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's bring him in. The man, the myth, the legend, Chris Prince, Beerman, Woodward Bets, Roto Grinders all over the place. My goodness. Beerman, how you doing, friend?
What up, Beer?
I am good, guys. How are you? I just want to take a second and say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, all our military personnel. We greatly appreciate everything you do, all your sacrifices, your families as well. So I just wanted to get that out, guys. I am doing great. How you guys doing this Thursday evening?
Doing phenomenal. Braylon had a wisdom tooth crack, so he's probably not doing so well today.
What were the odds on that, Beer? What were the odds on that?
That's a brutal one there. You're always going to lose to the wisdom tooth.
No question. No
bad beat.
Hopefully the tooth fairy will visit him.
Yeah, that's a bad beat of the day. Bad beat of the day. Hey, Beer, you guys have been on a tear over there at Woodward Bets. You know when you play, you're up. You go on stretches. This is one of those good stretches, though.
Yeah, you just try to enjoy the high. I mean, you're going to definitely hit some peaks, and anyone that's done any form of fantasy football or betting, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. So you ride the highs, you prepare yourself for when them downs are coming. You manage your bankroll properly. But, we've been on quite a roll, so we hope to continue that. Hope to give you guys some winners here today as well.
How about the Dolphins and the Ravens tonight? Dolphins 7.5-point dogs. I'm not sure if Tua's going to play. Brissett probably would play, but I gave a number before. The Ravens have outscored them in the last 3 games, 137-16. I don't know what the heck happened in those 3 games, but do you throw that stat out when you're picking this game?
No, you factor it in a little bit. I mean, you have to look at some of the trends, but I'm probably going to shock you here. I'm going with Miami tonight. It just feels like a spot. Everybody's going to be on Baltimore. Any stat you look at, any trend you look at, John Harbaugh's 9-0 against Miami, against the spread over his last 9. Everything points to Baltimore, but that means everybody and their mother, their grandmother, whoever is betting on this game is putting money down on Miami with Tua questionable, or put money down on Baltimore, I should say. Tua questionable. I'm going to go the opposite route here. I love fading the public here. As ugly as it sounds, Tom, I'm going with Miami plus the points here. Tua or Brissett, I think they keep this game competitive. Baltimore on a short week. I just like fading the public in this spot tonight.
Hey, Thursdays have been close. They've been pretty darn good games every week, so maybe I'll switch my allegiance and go Dolphins.
Plus, you have to figure out who really wants to play on Thursday. So
that's a good point. Right. Baltimore needs the game. Baltimore desperately needs the game.
This is your cover your eyes contrarian play of the week, right, Beer?
I mean,
absolutely, yeah. I mean, this one, this is not for the faint of heart, and if you have too many beers tonight, be careful because they may come spilling out.
Hey, college football, there is a game tonight. I don't know if you like that or not. Pittsburgh, North Carolina, that's a game. But, of course, obviously locally here, Michigan, it flipped. It's a 3-point flip over the last couple of days. Penn State opened up as a 1.5 favorite. Michigan now a 1.5 favorite. So that swung 3 points. Do you like anything there?
I like Michigan a lot in this spot. They know they have to continue to win here. It's a little bit overrated. It's just a team I have not believed in. So I think Harbaugh will have the boys ready to go here. I think there's a big reason why that spread flipped. And you don't see that a lot where a team goes from a favorite. Now suddenly they're an underdog here. I think Michigan wins this one by double digits. So I really like backing the Wolverines in this one this week.
The Spartans a 13-point favorite at home against Maryland.
What
do you think there, Beer?
Maz, I'm going to shock you again here, and I know this looks like a spot that Michigan State could roll, but if you look at some of the losses Maryland has had, they've lost to some of the best teams in the Big Ten. So I worry about their offense being able to put points on the board, but Michigan State's defense leaves a lot to be desired. They give up a ton. I think they're going to give up enough where Michigan State wins this one. I'm not going to come on here and say they're going to lose like last week, but I think they win. But I think Maryland makes this one a little bit more scary for the Spartan fans than they'd expect. So I'm going to take Maryland with the points this weekend.
All right, damn it. I'll go with you again on the points. All right, how about our lovable Lions going against the Steelers? Steelers don't impress me at all. They have won 4 in a row. Everyone knows the Lions are winless. Can they cover? Can they win? Can they win this game?
They cannot win, and I don't know that they're going to cover either. Now, we just got late news. As I joined the show, Najee Harris popped up on the injury report here for Pittsburgh. So that could be a game changer because that's what I worry about is the Lions' inability to stop the run. Najee Harris is going to see the ball 20, 25 times in that game. So if he's out, I feel a little bit better about the Lions and the points, but they just have not shown me much outside of a few close games where they hung in there. Mostly they've been blown out here, going on the road. Tough place to play in Pittsburgh. As bad as the Steelers can look sometimes, I still think they're the dominant team, and I think they win this one easily as long as Najee Harris is in that lineup.
Talking to Chris Prince, Beer Man, Woodward Bets. You can listen to them, watch them every night, 6 to 7 o'clock. Him and Scotty G giving you winners for free, by the way. They are on a tear in the NBA. 3 games on the card tonight, Beer. Anything that jumps out at you tonight?
Yeah, I really like Philadelphia tonight, minus the 3 points. I know they're missing some star power in that lineup, but some of the guys, some of the secondary guys are putting it together, and very good record with that team. They're playing well, so I like them. And I'll give you a couple more. I like the overs in the last 2 games tonight. I think you're going to see some scoring in both of those games. So we'll cover all 3 NBA games tonight. Philly minus the 3 and the over in the later 2 games.
How about on hockey? You got the Wings at home. Wings are hot, won 3 in a row.
Hockey.
They get the Capitals. I know hockey, but I got to bring it up to them. Hey, do you like the overs in hockey when it's a 5?
Maz, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I grew up in the city of Milwaukee. We did not have a hockey team, so I'm not going to pretend to know hockey. I know there's a lot of smart people that do subscribe to that theory, and there's been a lot of goals scored in the NHL this season, but I don't want to mislead you, Maz, and pretend I'm a hockey guy here. So I'm gonna leave the hockey alone, leave that to the experts.
Yeah, leave hockey to like Scotty G.
Should have looked smart and just picked the over. That seems to be the thing.
Then give me one big upset in the NFL this Sunday.
NFL upset this Sunday. Oh man, put me on the spot here. Let me think here.
Jets over Bills.
This is like when I asked Ryan for a name, and he's got to name a name inside of 3 seconds.
Come on, they're asking me for these names on the
I'm
spot.
sorry,
Yeah, Maz is desperate. The mortgage is due, and he needs to pay it some way, somehow.
What about that Sunday night game, Raiders Chiefs? What about that Sunday night game, Raiders Chiefs? I mean, we're all waiting for the Chiefs just to start blowing people out, scoring 40 points a game. It has not happened.
And I don't know that it's going to happen here anytime soon. As good as Patrick Mahomes has been, there's something off with this team. Travis Kelce has not looked right. Teams are limiting the big plays of Tyreek Hill. So I know Las Vegas has not been a team that we felt great about. Very up and down. You never know what you're going to get. But I do think that's one that could certainly be an upset. I don't see any huge upsets looking through the games this week. But that one, and as far as a spread pick, I love the Titans this week. I think they're going to dismantle New Orleans. Alvin Kamara dealing with some injuries here. This Titans team has been a covering machine. So if we're looking at a spread to back this weekend, really like the Titans at home this week.
All right, help me out on my eliminator pool. We're down to 20 guys. Last week was awesome. I had the Colts on Thursday night. Thank you for making me take those. Although Mike White, if he was in that game, it might be a different game. I just want to say that. Nonetheless, 20 guys left. I got the Steelers in my pocket. Do I use them?
I would in this spot. So I just don't see any way the Lions win. Maybe they go in and shock the world here, but this does not look like a team that's equipped to win right now. So I would feel pretty good about the Steelers this week, yes.
Wow, we do have some breaking news that just crossed as well. Odell Beckham Jr. finalizing a deal right now with the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, my.
Odell Beckham. That's from Adam Schefter.
Oh, my.
Odell Beckham Jr. to the L.A. Rams. How about that? What does that do for their Super Bowl odds? I mean, they are all in, Beer.
Yes, they have. So I was just going to say, they're the proverbial all-in. I mean, they go out and they make some other additions. They go get Von Miller to stifle up that defense. Now you add Odell Beckham to Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson. Just giving Matthew Stafford more and more weapons, and we kind of joke about it on our show. And what else would happen to the Detroit Lions and their fans than to watch their old quarterback go and win the Super Bowl? It almost feels like it has to happen. So, wow, I did not see that one coming. We heard about the Chiefs. I'm a Packers fan. We heard about Green Bay being in the mix. We heard about New Orleans being a potential destination, but I'm not surprised by this. The Rams are in win-now mode. I still think Odell has a lot to offer. So A little bit surprised, but not shocked. That's for sure.
You sure it was the Rams and not the Chargers? Oh, my God.
Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, who has played very well for them.
They let Deshaun Jackson walk. He goes to the Raiders, and they
now
filled his spot with
Beckham
Odell.
Jr. My goodness. Beer, thanks for the winners, my friend. And we'll be watching tonight, 6 o'clock, YouTube, Woodward Bets, and, of course, anywhere podcasts are found. Beer, we just love you so much, my man. Thanks so much for the time. We'll see you next Thursday on our show.
Thank you. One more quick shout-out to the boys at Waterford Mott. My nephew plays on that team. Big playoff game this weekend against Scotty G's old high school.
Oh,
in Franklin.
What kind of side action? What kind of side actions happen on that?
Yeah, we got some bets going. So to my nephew CJ, to his Waterford Mott teammates, I want to say best of luck here on Friday night.
Scotty G is going to be in his skivvies before the weekend's over.
There we go. I love it.
Big
Thanks
game.
for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
You got it, Bear. We'll see you. Chris Prince, one of the best in the business. Glad to have him here on Woodward
Odell
Sports
went where?
Network. Odell Beckham
LA Rams.
to the LA Rams.
That-
We're
don't-
gonna
that could
regroup
screw
after
them up.
that. Armani and
Don't
Edwards.
celebrate.
Woodward Sports
I'm Matthew
Network.
Stafford. I'm concerned.
Gun.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm, your local security experts for over 90 years. If you want to be the championship defender of your home, have these guys help you out. I mean, come on. They've been in this business for over 90 years, as I mentioned. They're going to help you do everything. Convenient features, 24/7 local monitoring. They're going to control your lights, temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide. They won't. You will be able to remotely. All you got to do is call a simple number. Let them help you. Put that black and gold sign out on your front lawn, and I guarantee you people will stay out. That number to call, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Say it again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Get out. Get out. Stay out.
Get out of here.
Stay out. 1-800-STAY-OUT. Put the black and gold sign right on your front lawn. Come on. Just do it, baby. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Stay out.
Stay out. Well, how about it? Let's react to it quickly before your videos of the day. Terry, I'll have you first up here. Odell Beckham Jr. to the Los Angeles Rams.
I don't like it if I'm a Rams fan. And I know this is, a lot of people are going to say, hey, no, that's a Super Bowl winning move. To me, sometimes you can bring in a bad element. And I think Odell Beckham he's a good receiver, a little overrated. He's a diva, and I understand wide receivers are a diva, but this is a guy that can ruin your dressing room. I want no part of that.
I agree with you. I think this is a bad move for the LA Rams. You saw Robert Woods complain and be very disgruntled earlier in the season when Cooper Kupp was getting all the targets. And then all of a sudden he's disgruntled, and then Stafford threw like the first 12 passes of the game to Robert Woods to keep him happy. If you have to do that with Odell Beckham Jr., it's not good. There is something to be said. Just because adding talent doesn't make you a better team. It's got to fit. It's a puzzle piece. A championship team is a puzzle. And if all the pieces don't fit, if you got 8 different corners on there, the puzzle is not going to be complete. I don't like this move for the LA Rams. I like it for Odell Beckham, personally. It's a great place to live. Los Angeles, you're going to the sexy Rams.
Oh, good. He can have a nightlife then.
But I'm telling you, I don't like this as a football move for him or the Rams.
We should get Rob Parker back on instantly. He's in L.A. now with Rob Parker. I can't believe that he's doing this. Just because you don't want to spend a winter in Green Bay, that's where you're going to win your Super Bowl, man.
And that's where he's going to get paid, too, by the way. You go to Green Bay, you be a good boy for 2 months. Jeez. You keep your mouth shut. You reinvent your image a little bit.
Maybe he can't do that.
Maybe he can't.
Look, there's no
Maybe he can't. Look, the New York Giants were willing to get rid of this guy at the top of his game when he was one of the best receivers in the league. So I think there's something to be said about that. I think there's
no question. And we've talked to Braylon. Braylon defends him. Braylon likes OBJ. So he knows him better than I know him.
Sure.
I'll say that he's been persona non grata on 2 teams. I saw what he did to the Giants on their bye week going into the playoffs. And he goes out to whatever island he was on and shooting the pictures and wearing a watch, a $50,000 watch, a $100,000 watch to practice and stuff like that. I get all of that. But he has not been the same since his injuries have hit. He's going to the Rams now. You're right, man. Stafford, well, he's got his hands full over there now. Aaron Rodgers could have fed this guy all the way to the Super Bowl.
Here's why you don't go to Green Bay.
I want the Packers and Rams to meet.
Here's why you don't go to Green Bay. OBJ always wants to blame somebody for his shortcomings. If he goes to Green Bay and he plays like crap, he can't blame Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is at the top of his game. Aaron Rodgers, is the guy that says, don't worry, I got this handled. So I think he'll go there, have pedestrian numbers in Green Bay, and then you can't come up with a video where Aaron Rodgers is not looking for me or Aaron Rodgers is a poor quarterback. You can still do that with Matthew Stafford.
This just shows me that he cares more about where he's at and what he is doing outside of football than trying to win. Yeah, we all have the Rams on top. There's something with that team still that ain't right. I just thought there was a better shot for him in Green Bay.
I totally agree with you, and I think Green Bay was the best football location for him.
There's nothing to do there.
Exactly. And in the opportunity to work with Aaron Rodgers would have done more for his future, I think. I think this is a bad move for the Rams. Forget about Odell Beckham Jr. I think this is a bad move for the Rams.
I agree.
Just because you're adding talent does not mean that you're getting better.
He's not going to get the ball.
Look at Cleveland. They're better without him.
Yes, that's the point. That's the point right there, Terry. Bottom line videos of the day. You got one here, Maz.
Well, I'm going to show you before a video.
Yeah.
Back in 2001, today, Sports Illustrated came out. Terry, you're going to love this. Check out the cover boy. 2001 Sports Illustrated. It is none other than
Joey Harrington
with the headlines reading
Young Guns of the NFL, the best crop of quarterbacks in 20 years.
Isn't that something? Joey Harrington, the cover boy in Sports Illustrated. So I got one thing to hit here. Cam Newton, welcome back to the NFL. Here's a little Cam for you.
He didn't get it on the last play was because he was on the sidelines, but they've got him. 15th play of the drive. Newton finds him. McCaffrey, touchdown. What a drive for the rookie.
Cam Newton just hit McCaffrey for a touchdown. He looked at the defender and he's like, "Hey, I see you guys have been looking at our practice film. Hey, see if you could stop this play." He kind of told them, "I know you know what you think we're doing. See if you could stop it." And of course, it was a touchdown to McCaffrey. He's back. I'll tell you, the Panthers could be a little trouble going down the stretch.
So, update here from Ian Rappaport. Kim Jones, who is NFL Network, Kim Jones says, Odell Beckham Jr. tells me he's on the fence between the Rams and the Packers. Adam Schefter says he's negotiating, finalizing a deal with the Rams. So there might be more to this story.
Adam Schefter's been jumping the gun lately.
He has been jumping the gun, but Kim Jones, 6 minutes ago, Odell Beckham Jr. tells me he's on the fence between the Rams and the Packers. This could be a situation for the Rams, though. We see it. You're a baseball guy,
It could be,
Maz.
but let me say this, that the NFL feeds stories to Adam Schefter.
Yes.
And the NBA feeds stories to Wojo.
Yep.
So I would believe Adam Schefter because he doesn't have to uncover rocks and everything. The NFL says, here's what's happening. Here's our press release before everybody else gets it. So
the thing is, yesterday, supposedly the Packers offered him the league minimum.
So they offered him more today because I guarantee you now what's happening is a Yankees-Red Sox situation.
Yep. Play keep away.
The Rams want Odell
keep
Beckham
away from the Packers.
Nowhere near the Packers.
That's right. If he goes to the Packers, look out. That's all I got to tell you.
And that's what the Rams are thinking as well, I think.
That's a good thought, man. Yeah. Excellent thought. I got one more video for you if you want.
Okay, give me one more.
All right, Lonzo Ball. I mean, pretty, not a fan of his at all, but this was pretty good. Go back to 2016. Check this dunk out.
Holiday runs through, throws to the rim. Oh, Lonzo Ball!
Yep, it was a beauty.
It was a beaut.
It was a beauty with UCLA back in the day. Lonzo
How
Ball.
about that? So there you have it. So maybe the Odell Beckham Jr. watch continues. Rams and Packers on the clock. Again, Odell Beckham Jr. apparently tells Kim Jones on the fence, Packers and Rams. Adam Schefter reporting that Odell Beckham Jr. is finalizing a deal with the LA Rams. So we'll see. Terry Foster, thanks so much today,
Had
man.
a blast.
It is always a pleasure to do a show with you, my friend.
It's always this dark when you guys show in.
I'm telling
Look
you.
at it, man. It's like midnight.
Glad I parked across the street today to get my steps in. Forgot about that rain.
That should be fun getting across for me as well.
Yeah, all right.
Terry, you got an umbrella?
Huh?
You got an umbrella?
Fish, Alex,
I don't.
you guys rock. Hey, listen for us on the radio, 93.5, 99.1, 94.7, HD2 FM from 6 to 8:30 p.m. weekdays. And, of course, check us out on YouTube, Woodward Sports Network, The Bottom Line. Just
Get well, Braylon.
Absolutely. Braylon Edwards, I love you, baby. Hopefully you're
poor
back
thing.
tomorrow. If not, don't worry about it. We got you, buddy. Armani and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports
Good night.
Network.
Cody Parkey hits the upright from 33 yards away. Not a given anymore. And the extra point, that's two now that have been missed as Parkey hit the upright. 41 yards away, and that, boy, he can hit those uprights, can't he? 3 times. Toward the upright. Unbelievable. Can you believe this? He's hit 4 uprights today.